Secret Service denies breaking into Salon to use bathroom.
Controversy over what happened at a hair salon near a Kamala Harris event in Massachusetts. A Secret Service agent can be seen on surveillance video covering up the camera. Then EMS workers were.
Not gonna lie, man. L Secret Service, man.
Massachusetts, a Secret Service.
This is like that video of the kid, the older brother trying to duck under the fucking of the Ring camera, and then the little brother runs out and he's like, "You're so stupid."
Then EMS workers were spotted inside eating mints from
That's
the
the
salon
same-
and
that's the same
reportedly
shit.
using the bathroom. But the question is, did someone break in? Megan Alexander reports.
That's a Secret Service agent on the porch of a beauty salon. The agent was part of a detail assigned to protect Kamala Harris when she appeared at a fundraising event in Pittsfield, Massachusetts 2 weeks ago. The salon was closed for the day. Now look, 2 minutes later, the agent returns and pulls a chair over. Then she climbs on top, tears off some tape, and covers the lens.
The beauty salon
I'm not
owner
gonna lie,
says
that's
when she
so-
opened her
she's so
shop
dumb,
later that
bro.
day, the lock on the door appeared to have been picked.
And when she checked her interior surveillance camera, she found this shocking scene. The alarm going off and 2 uniformed women, one of them grabbing mints off the counter.
A source tells Inside Edition that the women were not Secret Service, but apparently were among local first responders working with the Secret Service team. So why did they enter the beauty shop? According to reports, to
Why
use the
did they
bathroom.
But even if they're not Secret Service agents, some are still blaming the embattled agency.
Secret Service agents broke in to that salon owner's place.
A Secret Service spokesman tells Inside Edition the agency has reached out
They
to
did
the
break in,
salon
bruh.
owner. Our personnel would not enter or instruct our partners to enter a business without the owner's permission. The president of the county
Boy, that's
Ambulance
cap.
service says the paramedics inside were using a bathroom they were told they could use by people in supposed authority. We spoke to former Secret Service agent Jim Rathman.
Entering, using the bathroom, eating the candy, that part is not something that is normal and should not have happened.
The salon controversy comes as the Secret Service is under intense scrutiny.
I don't know what the Secret Service is doing, bruh. They tweaking. They done broke up into a hair salon. Florida jury hears 911 calling AJ Owens manslaughter trial. Not gonna lie, I don't know what trial this is, so hopefully I get a little insight from this little 2-minute clip. Let's see.
Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Mary Calvi in today for Deborah. We begin with a neighbor feud that turned deadly after a woman complained about children playing near her property. The mother of the kid went over to confront her.
I think this
That's
is-
when prosecutors.
I had seen a clip of this on Twitter or something, but I didn't look at it. I think this is that same story.
Say she was fatally shot by the woman right through the closed front door. As Les Trent reports, the whole
I don't know.
incident is now being replayed in court.
She's the woman accused of opening fire through her front door and shooting her neighbor to death.
She points at the door, fires one shot at the center of the door.
Police say the gunplay was the climax of a long-running dispute 60-year-old Susan Lorenz was having over youngsters on her block.
Every time
Wait.
I turn around, the kids are always screaming and stuff like that. Someone's throwing stuff at this window.
They say mother of 4 AJ Owens.
Yeah, this
Lorenz
is what I had
called to
seen.
confront her after Lorenz threw a
I didn't
roller
look at it
skate
though,
into
so
one of
this
her
is still the
kids.
first time I've
This
seen it.
is Lorenz's interrogation video.
Was your goal to shoot and kill her?
No,
What was your goal?
to shoot and hopefully, she'd hear the shot and dissipate.
The defendant's call to 911 was just played on the opening day
What?
of testimony at her manslaughter trial in Ocala, Florida.
Oh my God, this lady just tried to break down my door. I shot through the door.
She is claiming self-defense.
She was terrible. That AJ Owens was going to break down that door and pulverize her.
Her lawyer says a next-door neighbor heard AJ Owens at the front door.
She was watching TV, and all of a sudden, she hears pounding on that door.
A 13-year-old witness heard the same commotion.
I remember her banging on the door.
But in the interrogation, she has said if I'm not mistaken, she had said she a shot to hopefully get her to leave after hearing the shot. But then on on the call, she said she was trying to bang on the door and she shot through the door. So did she try to shoot through the door as a warning shot? I'm pretty sure. I don't have a gun, so if I'm wrong, let me know. But I'm pretty sure that you can't just be shooting at something that you can't see. An example, shooting through a door.
How is she banging? Can you describe that?
She was banging in a mad type of banging like pretty hard.
Prosecutors say Owens was unarmed. Her mother is speaking out.
Today is the very first day of school for the children. As you all may be aware, it was a very emotional day.
Lawrence's trial is expected to last a week.
If convicted
A
of
week?
manslaughter, Susan Lorenz faces a maximum sentence of 30 years.
It must just be trial and not the conviction. I don't know, man. All right. That's an interesting story. I might want to look more into it. College students say they were drugged while on Mexico trip. Man, I've seen a lot of stuff like this on the internet. People gotta be safe, man. Watch out what
This
you're drinking.
horrific photo shows two college students passed out after they say they were drugged
I
while on
don't drink.
vacation in Mexico.
Were passed out and basically like
I'm also
paralyzed.
20
It
though,
was
so
supposed to be a dream
but
getaway.
I
But
don't.
Zara Hull is still
Drinking is not me,
hospitalized
bro.
6 days after drinking water at a pool bar in Cancun, which she says left her clinging to life.
We literally
Damn.
took like one sip off of the water, and at the same
water?
time we hit the bar. Like our faces we were down.
Zara, there's no question in your mind you were drugged.
Yep, I felt my body about to just like start going into like a seizure activity, like in a compulsion. And I could not stop. Like they were back to back.
Zara was rushed to a private hospital, but things took an even worse turn when the hospital demanded thousands of dollars to treat the college student.
Let me know if I'm tripping, but does this not sound like a kind of a ploy?
Money she didn't have.
And if we didn't pay it, then they were going to put me out in the street, intubated, and with my catheter.
I don't know if I'm wrong here. Was it a bar? I think they went to a bar. They got some water. Got drugged by the water. Or from something in the water. They go to the hospital and now they're demanding thousands of dollars or they're going out on the street. That's crazy.
The 20-year-old who's studying nursing says she was intubated for no reason and pumped full of drugs. Her boyfriend, Jake Cinder, stuck by her side, watching in horror as he says the hospital milked them for $65,000.
65. Feeling was not being able to pay to actually get her out.
Zara's mother was finally able to secure a
Nah,
medevac
bruh.
for her daughter to be flown to a hospital in Dallas. Here she is today, relearning to walk. What are the doctors here in the
You gotta relearn to walk after that? That's fucked up, man.
U.S. saying happened to you?
You know, it's all been speculation. Like they think, you know, they do think there's been a lot of drugs in my system.
Fortunately, her friend, who also passed out, recovered without going to the hospital.
This was like my dream vacation, and it
That's
turned
fortunate.
into my worst nightmare.
Hey, man. Be safe. What you're consuming. People out here, they don't have your best interests in mind. Banksy artwork stolen hours after going on display. I'm not gonna lie, I had seen this a couple days ago on my subscription feed. I ain't look at it, but this could be a ploy by Banksy himself to make the artwork go viral.
Banksy fans got a little greedy. The mysterious artist has been popping up with new work all over the city of London this past week, but one of them was reportedly stolen. Banksy confirmed on social media that he spray painted a wolf on a satellite dish, giving the appearance of a wolf standing in front of a full moon. Hours later, these photos were taken of a few masked people showing up to the site, with one of them removing the dish, passing it to the others, and then running off with it. All in broad daylight. Banksy enthusiasts can still enjoy his other animal art, like this goat standing on a pole, monkeys swinging across a bridge, and these elephants looking out windows at each other. The artist hasn't revealed the meaning behind any of them or the reason for his sudden burst.
I'm not gonna lie, it might actually be a ploy.
Banksy's art can be worth millions of dollars,
Hold up, man.
or
I'll say
pounds,
why
or
in a second.
euros when sold at auction. But if these people are going to try to sell their loot, they're going to first have to explain where they got it from. For Inside Edition.
Bro, that could actually be a ploy, because if you look at the other stuff, that the other paintings and artworks, they were all on solid stuff. That one was on something that wasn't solid. What is the reason that it was on something that wasn't solid, while the other ones were? He might have actually set that up, but we will never know. Cop jumps into pond to rescue missing little boy. Man, I don't know.
Now more nail-biting
play it
video
for a
as
second.
cops are desperate to find a little boy who wandered from
This
his
has to
home.
be
Then they realize
I'm
he's
not
in
a parent,
pond.
but to a parent,
Deputies
this has to
run
be
through
like
the
the
woods
most
frantically
terrifying
searching for a
terrifying
missing
thing
boy
ever.
whose family had called 911.
Everybody's trying to help us right now.
The boy had wandered away from his home in Deltona, Florida. Cops fear the worst
Bro.
as they race towards a pond. Suddenly, they hear a cry for help.
Bro, a little toddler walking into these woods at 5 p.m., almost 6, I think. That sound, especially in Florida, who knows what's out here, bro? By the pond, by the lake too. Look at these trees, bro. This is where I see crocodile videos, alligator videos. This is where I see them. This exact environment right here. Luckily,
hey, he's out here somewhere.
There
cop
he
was
is,
able to save this
hanging
kid.
onto a log in the middle of the pond.
Hey, I got him.
The deputy jumps into the water to save the boy, grabs him, and brings him to safety. And here's that hero deputy, Wes Bruff, today.
I have a 5-year-old boy. He's the same age, same size as him. So when I picked him up out of the water and he was holding on to me tightly, you know, it felt like I was holding on to one of my kids.
W cop, man. Riley Strain drowned while intoxicated. Autopsy. Let's see. I don't know. This is also another story I don't know about, but let me consume a little bit of information and see what this is.
The college student who was found dead in Nashville earlier this year drowned while intoxicated, according to the city's medical examiner. The autopsy report for 22-year-old Riley Strain states his blood alcohol level was 0.228, and police reportedly estimate he had between 12 and 15 beverages that night. Police say Strain was reported missing March 9th, the morning after he was last seen by friends. Strain was reportedly partying in the city with his fraternity brothers from Missouri State when he was asked to leave a bar. Surveillance cameras caught him walking alone through the streets that night. It would be another 10 days before his body would be found floating face down in the Cumberland River.
Damn.
A preliminary autopsy performed days after he was found showed there were no signs of foul play. His death has officially been ruled accidental. For Inside.
R.I.P. All I could imagine while watching that, imagine being like so like so drunk, and then you just fall into a body of water that like that's your hand eye coordination is already messed up. I don't think it's a low chance that you actually do make it out of there unless it's shallow water. R.I.P. to him. Final story. Family of explorer who died in the Titan sub files lawsuit. This was that the OceanGate thing, I think, that happened last year. I think that's the name of the company was OceanGate.
Did the 5 passengers aboard the submersible going to the wreck of the Titanic actually hear the vessel cracking apart in their final moments? 1 year after the disaster, we are learning things may have been far more terrifying than we thought.
They may have heard the submersible cracking apart. That's the chilling new claim about the 5 passengers who lost their lives on their way to see the wreck of the Titanic.
It's tragic. I feel terrible for the families.
The Titan sub was 90 minutes into the dive when something went horribly wrong. The vehicle imploded, killing everyone on board. One of them was French explorer and crew member Paul-Henri Nargelet. A lawsuit by his estate alleges they would have felt terror and mental anguish as death loomed. The lawsuit also says Titan began dropping weight in an apparent effort to return to the surface, but it didn't work. And how scary is this? The suit claims the 5 on board may have heard a crackling noise grow more intense as the weight of the water pressed on Titan's hull. Common sense dictates that the crew were well aware they were going to die. Jay Bloom was supposed to be on that ill-fated dive, but pulled out at the last minute.
If it's as described, where it was, you hear the hull slowly crackling and compromising, and you know you lose power, and you know you're going to die, and you're just waiting for it to happen.
Literally impending doom.
It's horrific.
There have been a lot of questions about the safety of the sub, with the company's founder saying it was all operated with a video game controller.
We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Come on!
He also perished in the implosion.
One of the defendants tells us they have not seen the complaint, so they cannot speak to it at this time.
Well, I think it's only been like a year or something since this happened. So we'll have to see what happens with the lawsuits. I don't know what'll happen with them, but there's one at least. Suspect jumps off bridge and to avoid arrest in Florida.
Have a seat. Yep, he's in the water.
I'm not gonna lie.
A suspect allegedly tried to escape the heat from police by jumping in the water, but he didn't get too far.
Hey.
It was a W method for a second, bro. Until they pulled out the boat, bro.
Police in Daytona Beach, Florida say they stopped a man walking alone on a bridge while they were looking for a robbery suspect from a nearby incident. While cops say they thought it would be an easy apprehension, the suspect clearly had other plans.
I would do the same thing if I know I robbed somebody and the cops is pulling me over and they say, "Hey man, is your name so and so?" Off rip. Oh man, I might do the same thing.
Yep, he's in the water. This is going to be him on the bridge.
Depending on what I did.
It didn't take long for Marine units to catch up with him and fish him out of the water.
On the floor. Help him with cuffs.
On the floor?
Richard Martinovics is charged with robbery with...
Help him with cuffs. On the floor. Help him with cuffs.
Richard Martinovics is charged with robbery with a weapon and obstructing an officer without violence, in addition to 4 counts of violating his pretrial release conditions. He's set to
he
be
was on
arraigned
probation
next
too?
month. His attorney had no comment.
It was a good strat.
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Mara
But they pulled out the boat. All right. Those were some good stories. Ending off this week's news stories.